This is Kamala's concession speech yesterday in full, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it right after that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Afternoon.
Why the stands ain't full? Why is there so many empty spaces in the stands? See, when I was looking at this yesterday, and this is why I like to look at it from different angles with different networks and so on and so forth. When I was looking at this yesterday, they was only showing the picture of her. When you look at it from different angles, you telling me you can't even get enough people out there for a concession speech, but you telling me that you was able to beat Donald Trump and you had bigger rallies than him? Nonsense. 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 It ain't even full out there for the concession speech. Nonsense. Nah. See, now we get to the real. Now we get to the real, but let's get to it because they tried to make it seem like, oh, the people is out there killing it and all of that.
Thank you all.
No way
Thank
she was
you.
going to beat Trump. No way.
Thank you.
Whole map
Thank
was
you.
ready.
So let me say, and I love you back, and my heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted.
Her neck actually does
not
it better.
What we fought
I think
for.
that neck is a stress thing.
Not what we voted for. But hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran and the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future. And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us.
You notice how she gonna make sure she hit on that so much more in common than what separates us point? They're gonna keep hitting on that, yo.
Now I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it.
Yeah, a range of happiness.
But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will...
I believe that the Democrats divided this nation so much, honestly. I believe that Democrats, in their quest and in their bid to win this election, including Obama, including Kamala Harris, and including all of these celebrities, I believe that they did more to divide the nation than they ever could to actually help us and bring us together. It's funny that this party is the party of division and not the party of bringing people together. And they actually made more hate, while it looks like Trump made America great again by actually bringing people together, really with more with forcing us to not identify based off of or vote based off of identity politics, but more or less align based off of policy. Because when you vote based off of policy and what's going to actually help everybody, that is what brings people together. It's not about a message. It's not about hope. It's not about joy. It's not about all of this stuff. All they did was say, vote. This is what the Democrats' message was, and this is where they messed up. And I said this. They messed up in a lot of places, but this is one of the biggest things that they did to mess up. They kept saying, Trump is going to do this. Trump is going to do that. Trump is going to do this. Trump is going to do that. Instead of saying, and shout out to all of the new bag chasers, shout out to DJ Complex, I appreciate you. Instead of saying, this is what I will do to help and improve your life, they kept saying, this is what Trump is going to do to hurt you. And all they did was continue to promote him. And I tell people all the time, and I don't mind saying this out loud because I know that it's still going to happen. It's almost like a good idea, right? I don't never mind saying a good idea. I tell people good ideas for channels. I remember I was telling people that they needed to start a certain type of channel for I'm not going to tell you the type of channel again because I already gave that out. I remember saying a lot of different ideas, and you know why I didn't mind saying it? Because nobody is going to do it anyway. Nobody is going to do it anyway. It's two things that's really interesting about this election. They spent more time promoting Donald Trump than they did their own plans and their own policies. That's number one. And number two, Democrats do not show up to the polls. Democrats do not show up to the polls. I love it when people talk about me. I love it when people make videos reacting to me positive or negative because it keeps my name in the algorithm and they're not going to make a, you know what I'm saying? It promotes me. I've never lost a subscriber. Not one day in my life have I had less subscribers than the day before. That's just the facts. It's just facts. Democrats and Dusties, people that support the Democratic Party do not show up to the polls at all. We don't even worry about them. I genuinely in my heart, when I looked at how many people that they said voted for Biden during a pandemic, think about this for a minute. Most people couldn't even go outside. They didn't have as many people to be able to early vote or anything like that. They said 81 million people voted for Biden. And I was looking at it, and I think it was only at like 50-something or 61 million people that voted for Hillary Clinton. 60-something million people voted for Kamala Harris. Obama didn't even get the numbers that Biden got. Let me see something. How many people voted? I plan on doing a whole video about this too. When Obama won his presidency, he got 69 million votes against John McCain's 59 million votes. In 2008, when people were more engaged than ever to actually go out and vote, Obama got 69 million votes. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Biden got 11, 12 million more votes than Obama. Get the hell out of here, bro. No way, no how. No way in hell are you going to sell me on the idea. No way in hell are you going to sell me on the idea that Biden is a more popular president than Barack Obama. As much as I don't like Barack Obama, you're not ever in life going to sell me on the idea that Barack Obama got 12 million less votes than Biden. Biden got a record amount during the pandemic. Man, get the hell out of here, bro. And in hindsight, honest to God, in hindsight, I'll be listening to, and I'll be going back and I'll be doing my research. And these are the things that honest to God, that I'll be going through and I'll be researching and I'll be looking at in my spare time. And I was looking at it and I said, wait a minute. Obama got 69 million votes. And it was a record at the time. And Biden got 81 million votes. Get out of here, bro. No freaking way. But here we are. Let's continue to this concession speech. And then we're going to move over to Biden, his live comments on what happened during the election and his reaction.
We'll help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results.
Everybody, listen, we had more engagement this election than ever before. And you telling me that more people mailed in and early voted in this election. You're not going to sell me on that. I'm not going for that, bro.
That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three.
Now, you know she ain't write this speech. You know she ain't write this speech after what she just said.
Is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
She got to be one of the most unpopular candidates of all time, bro. No matter what the media tries to do.
The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation.
I'm surprised they ain't hit us with the glass ceiling speech.
Reflect America.
Hey, Hillary Clinton said that we hit the glass ceiling and it has so many cracks in it that the next woman that came through was gonna break through the ceiling. I guess that they put some cement on top of that joint, huh? I guess that was bulletproof glass, because she wasn't getting through that ceiling, not even a little bit, bro.
At our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have...
Right after she talked about God. Right after she talked about God, she then talked about the elimination of babies as a form of contraception. This is the person that y'all was trying to get into office.
Our government telling them what to do. We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence. And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred idea that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected and upheld. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives.
You can wage the fight all you want. The people spoke and they don't want this nonsense. Get on up out of here. I hope, honest to God, I know we was having this conversation yesterday and we said, oh man, I wonder if she gonna run again. I hope she run again. I hope there's no more sure of a way than to get a victory in 2028 than to have Kamala Harris run and to make sure that she ruins the campaign.
By treating one another with kindness and respect. By looking in the face of a stranger.
I'm watching Joe about to speak. We're going to go over to that as soon
neighbor.
as we get over there. As soon as we get done with
By always using our strength to lift people up, to fight for the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work. But like I always say, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching, it is... To the young people who
These are all of the people that were supposed to be at her victory speech the day before. They had to go home back to their rooms and come back the next day after she got done crying and sobbing her eyes out and putting her head in on Doug's chest. Doug, console me.
Watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay.
Hard work is hard work,
On the campaign,
Asia.
I would often say,
hard work
when we
is hard
fight,
work.
we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win.
Good luck.
The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
Our ladies is 0 for 2 trying to run a nation, trying to become the president of the United States. Actually 0 for 3 because Hillary got beat twice. And then Trump is a woman beater. Let me write that down. I need to do a whole live stream on that.
You have the capacity to do extraordinary good in the world. And so to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a time to throw up our hands. This is a time to roll up our sleeves. This is a time to organize, to mobilize, and to stay engaged for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can build together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career I saw people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take the stand, to take a stand, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others. So let their courage be our inspiration. Let their determination be our charge. And I'll close with this. There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is, only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. I know many people feel like we are entering a dark time. But for the benefit of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America, if it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm going to give y'all a little bit of game right now. often at times when you have a speech in front of you, you mess it up. And so you got to do the remix. And a lot of people that's not familiar with speaking publicly a lot wouldn't catch it. But I catch everything because I pay attention to not just what people say, how they say it, and what's being communicated. And so, for example, she can't even get right the speech that's wrote for her. And when she was supposed to say billion stars, she makes a mistake and she says brilliant. Listen, I'll show it to you.
Let us fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant.
Maybe she's drunk. Maybe she's drunk. Listen, I'm telling you, you have to pay attention to the details. The details is what matter. The details is what matter. Maybe she drunk, maybe she tired, maybe she was crying her eyes out. You got to be able to read the teleprompter correctly. Listen to what she's saying.
Fill the sky with the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion of stars.
Was supposed to go the light, and I was actually able to go back and look at the speech, and I compared it. Once I heard this the first time, I said, that don't sound right. And I looked at, they actually have a transcript of her written speech online, and it was supposed to be the light of a billion stars. But then she goes and she remixes it, and she say, and then the light of a brilliant, brilliant billion stars. And that's why some of her speeches is so incoherent, because they get messed up from the teleprompter, and so they have to remix it and make it the best that they can. It's also why in a lot of these interviews, it was very difficult for her to have a conversation one-on-one and answer questions off script without a teleprompter. And she did a much better job at the Democratic National Convention than she would in front of the people, because the speeches are written in a way in which they're supposed to be communicated as easily as possible to the people and supposed to resonate with them. But sometimes maybe the candidate is drunk. I don't know. The candidates mess it up on a regular basis.
The light of optimism, of faith, of truth, and service. And may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
And that is Kamala Harris's speech, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it inside of the chat.